Hey everybody! Well, you're probably thinking, what the heck? You already showed this thing. Well, no, this is a different one. This is a new one. So once again, this is from Factory Entertainment, and this is from the original Star Trek episode Catspaw. I believe it was in season 2, and it's kind of a cool episode. I think it came out around Halloween time, so it had like a Halloween theme to it. Now, in that episode, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here's a picture of it. There's this little prop, and it looks like this little metal Enterprise. There's these two aliens on the show named Sylvia and Korob, and they use like this talisman of the Enterprise. And Sylvia, she hangs it over a candle to make the real Enterprise hot, like they're burning up in space, to overpower Kirk and his crew. And then there's her partner is named Korob. He's this guy that's kind of like a soothsayer or a wizard type of guy with his wand. And then he encases this in acrylic, and it makes a force field around the original Enterprise. Now, I did a video of the one in acrylic, which I have right here. So this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I showed this in a previous video about a year ago. I can't believe it's already been a year. And if you want to see the full review I did of this, I'll put a link in the description. I go into detail about the prop, and I show some clips from the episode, and I even show some pictures of the original prop, what it looks like today. I actually got to see the original prop oh gosh, a long time ago. It was in a museum exhibit, so it's really cool. This is very beautiful. Now, this was made by Factory Entertainment as well, and it's the exact same piece, but it's not encased in acrylic. This one here is the loose one, because in the episode we saw it both loose and in acrylic. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now, I think this box is exactly the same kind of box that the other one was in. Okay, so here, yes, so it has the same picture. Let me see if I can get my camera angled up so we can look at this a little bit better. There we go. So here you can see a picture. This is a screenshot from the episode. So there's Sylvia, there's Korob, and this is where she is holding that Enterprise up to this candle, and it makes the real Enterprise get hot to overpower Kirk. And then that is Korob right there. He was the wizard one. All right, so if you want to see a little clip of that episode, check out my other video. So let's go and take a look at this one now. Let me get the camera more angled, and then let's take a look at this. Now, here is the card that this comes with. Ooh, these are numbered as well. Okay, I wasn't sure. So here you can read this. Certificate of Authenticity. So this is 607. Now, the one that had the acrylic, I think those were limited to 1,000, and they sold out. They're all gone. If you want to get one of these now, you're going to have to go on eBay, and they're going for crazy money. I mean, I've seen, sometimes they're as low as $200, but they're now going up to like $400 plus now. It's insane. They really are beautiful pieces. So here's the numbered addition to this. And then here's a scene where she was burning it over the candle. It's a really neat piece. And then here's some story about the original prop right here, and then here's this, and then here is some talk about the replica right here. I haven't actually had a chance to read this yet, so I'll have to read over on that. All right, now let's take a look at the piece. Oh, so here it is. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at how nicely this is packaged. So it looks like it's the same one. I mean, you can see here the difference between the acrylic one and the regular one. But it's just nice. Now, what's really cool about this is when Factory Entertainment came out with that acrylic one, a lot of people were saying, well, gosh, I hope they come out with the one that's loose, that's not in acrylic. And sure enough, they did. I wasn't sure they were going to do this, but they were. And then here's something else. Okay, so let me get this thing out. Actually, that's stuck in there. Okay, let me see what's going on with that. I love how on this card at the bottom, it says, for your safety and the general well-being of any bewitched Starfleet crew, do not dangle this replica over any open flames. That is hilarious. Now, I was reading this thing, and it's cool. This one is actually made of stainless steel. The original was made of aluminum, the two originals, including another replica that I got over here that I'll show you in just a minute. So this thing here, what this is it's the stand. There's a little hole right here. Let me see if we can take this out. I love how this came with a stand. It's really neat. That way you don't have it just laying down. I'm not sure what this is made of. It's probably acrylic. Oh, that's nice. I don't want to get my fingerprints on it. Okay, so I'm not sure which, I'm guessing this is the bottom. Let me see if I can do this without light reflection. So there you can see, it just came out this year. And then here's the other side, it just says Star Trek, and there's the hole. And so now you've got this right here. So this is the stand. This is cool. All right, so here's the metal piece that's gonna go on there. Oh, that's really nice. All right, so we'll have to assemble that on there. And then here's the piece itself. It's got a really nice chain on it. Let's see if I can get it out of here. Okay. Oh yeah, you know what? This is nice because it's steel. It's stainless steel. I'll have to show you the other one I got. I showed it in the other video as well. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I got the light on here right. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's absolutely beautiful. Stainless steel. Looks like it's been brushed or something. It's absolutely fantastic looking. I don't know if the one in acrylic is steel. Here you can see the two together. They're exactly the same size. I'm guessing that's steel too, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. They said the reason they went with steel on this one is because the original was so fragile that if you look in the show, you can see that the nacelles aren't even. They're kind of bent, probably from handling on the set. And that makes sense. Boy, look at the finish on this. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. There's the little main sensor dish on the front. Yeah, really nice. There's the shuttle bay back there. Oh, this is fantastic. This is definitely more substantial than the other one. It's, well, the other one I got, that one's aluminum, but this one here, you can see they even, looks like maybe they welded that or soldered it. Very, very nice. Oh, wow, I am very impressed with that. That's beautiful. All right, so let me see if I can figure out how to put that stand together. Okay, so it's a very simple setup. There's just two pieces. You just put this in the hole, and then you make sure that it's in all the way. And then you're going to take the ship itself, start with this little ring here, and we'll loop it over this little thing right here. And then you kind of hang this over like that. All right, and then that's what kind of holds it up. Oh, that's very nice. I like this a lot. What a cool way to hold that up. Now this one's kind of, I mean, it can kind of move it this way so that it's not getting caught on there. Depending on which way this chain is twisted or turned, is which way this is going to face. So you might have to mess with it a little bit in order to make it maybe face forward. Although it kind of looks like this is actually kind of nice, where it's facing sideways. But that's nice. What a cool way to display this. I really like that. This is great. If I had thought about that, I would have made something like this for my other one. Okay, so here's the other one I've been talking about. I showed this in the other video. Now this one here, here's another one that I got. Now I got this, gosh, I don't even know how many years ago. It's probably been at least 15 years ago maybe. I don't even know. This is a machined aluminum one. Now you can see how this one is much thinner, because see how the struts for the nacelles right here are really thin, and much, much lighter, because this is machined aluminum. And you can see here that these are two different sizes. This one here, the new one, is much, much bigger. See the difference in size there? This one is significantly heavy, the new one. It is much, much more heavy than the other one. I really like it. It feels a lot more premium. So there we go. But yeah, and this one's got a super long chain on it. And up until this point, this is the one I always had. So I always wanted one in acrylic. So I was really glad to get the acrylic one. So here's the acrylic one. So here's all three. Let me try to get a better angle. Okay, yeah, so here's all three of them all together now. So this is very nice. Now I got to tell you, and I mentioned this in the other video as well, when I first got this, it was about $250 I think I paid for this. These were extremely hard to find back then. You could not find these anywhere, and if you did find somebody who could make one, they only made a very short run. I think maybe 10 of them at the most. And even these, you can see the engines aren't quite straight. I could probably bend these out a little bit to make them more straight, but I'm kind of scared I don't want to break it. But now, having seen this one from Factory Entertainment, I'm much more happier with this one because it's just so much heavier and it's bigger. Quite a size difference on it. I definitely think this one is more accurate to the original size. Supposedly this is based on the original prop. Now I don't know what happened to the one that's loose like this. This one, of course, was donated to the Smithsonian, and that's where I saw it. And then when I saw it, the acrylic had yellowed. And I go in depth in the other video about how you can see the way it was made. It was like another cube inside of a cube. It was kind of interesting the way that one was made. And so when I saw it, it was pretty yellowed. And then I think eventually the chain got broken off of here. And I don't know if they replaced it by the time I saw it or if that was the original chain that was still on it at the time. But these are really nice. Now, another interesting thing about this is several years ago, I was on eBay and I saw somebody selling an Enterprise just like this in the acrylic. But the only difference is it wasn't metal. It was almost like a little plastic version of it, the exact same size. And it was being sold by the Doohan family. James Doohan, who played Scotty on the original series, they were selling it. And the story behind it was that after they had filmed that episode, the crew, the prop crew, gave James Doohan that prop of that Enterprise in the acrylic. Now, what was interesting is that it was made, because it wasn't metal, it was more of a plastic one. So I'm thinking what may have happened is that originally that was going to be the prop they were going to use. It was going to be a little plastic Enterprise on a chain, loose like that, and then maybe this. But then maybe something happened with the script. Maybe they changed it, and they decided they're going to add the scene where Sylvia is dangling this one over the flame, and then they thought, well, we can't have it made of plastic in order to have it over a flame, so that we'd make it out of metal. And then maybe after they were done with the show, they had that one left over that had the plastic Enterprise in it, and they gifted it to James Doohan. And so the Doohan family had it for many, many years, ever since that show was filmed. And then however many years ago it was on eBay, and I was bidding on it, and I really wanted it because I didn't have one in acrylic, even though it didn't look like the metal one. And then the auction was pulled. And I think it's because they had, the Doohan family had a store that they were selling stuff, including like pieces of dilithium crystals and stuff. Somebody had mentioned that they saw this in the store, and they're like, "You put that on eBay?" And they're like, "Do you know what you got there?" And I think they realized the value of it, and so they pulled the auction. And then I don't know what happened to it after that. I never saw it go up for auction anywhere, but possibly it did, like at a regular professional auction. And so I still don't know what happened to that. So if any of you know whatever happened to that particular Enterprise in acrylic, if you know which one I'm talking about, please comment in the comments. I'd like to know if maybe you own it. If you own it, that would be great. And if you do own it, could you please do a video on it? I'd really like to see it. But that's the story behind it. At least that's the story I'm thinking happened with it, because why else would James Doohan be gifted an Enterprise just like this, but it was made of plastic instead? I'm just thinking it was probably a prop that was designed for that episode, and then some changes were made, and they went with the metal instead. But anyway, I just love these things. It's really cool. So if any of you have gotten this one and you want the one that's loose, these are now available from Factory Entertainment. Same price. They're $100. $100 for these. I think that is a bargain, because for this one here, I paid $250 for this one, and it's not even accurate size, and it's not even as nicely made as these. I'm very pleased with these. So I'll put a link in the description if you want one to the Factory Entertainment website. This is not a paid promotion for Factory Entertainment. I always have to make that clear. But these are out now, and if you want them, I would say you better get them now, because when these sold out, these are now going for crazy, crazy prices. So get them while they're at retail price before this one goes out of stock. But isn't that nice? I love it. I love the stand. I love it. It's so cool. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'd very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I'll see you on the next video. So thank you so much for watching and have a good one.